Ninja is like good, like so in that.
Is what, sorry?
Ninja, this one, NinjaTrader. So, yeah,
Yeah,
this one.
yeah,
This
Ninja.
platform.
It's all right. It's all right. I don't have a problem with it. I think it works. It's fine. It's got all the features I need, which is not much. Just need to enter the order and place a stop and a target. That's about it, really. I don't need much as far as features are concerned. So it's simple. It works. There's not too much to think about, and even have it on the phone. So I can operate it on the phone.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It's a very simple platform. It works well. It's not Ninja that's the thing that I need to figure out these days. It's how to trade futures. That's what I'm working on.
I think like how to do it. Like, so.
Yeah. Well, I know how to do it at a certain level, but then to be able to put on this leverage and then leave it on for hours and hours and through the London session and the Asia sessions and the New York Open, and to be able to leave a position on through all of those sessions and anticipate the different ways that the instrument moves during these sessions. That's what I'm really working on here, to see how to pick the good entries and then pick up on a trend that goes through these sessions. That way you get these massive moves, and that's where the fun happens, big moves. So
yeah, but these days what's happening, like all the sessions, like they're not in continuity. Like, so one is always like one of the three, it goes like in the opposite.
Yeah, I can see that. So it's interesting, if that's the case, then you can use that. So if you enter into a position, maybe have a target in place, but also have a setting where it closes part of your position or the entire position when the session ends at that particular time. That can be done too. So maybe that's a way to use it as well. So if it gets to your target, great. If it doesn't, just liquidate the position or some of it at the close or at the open of the New York session, for example, because New York, it gets really volatile, right?
Yeah, it is.
So there's an idea. There's ways to do things. But I don't know. Let's see. Anyways, it's fun stuff. It's all very interesting. I think the potential is really tremendous in the futures market. There's a lot of movement, a lot of activity, a lot of fun. So,
yeah, as you say, like, okay, it's the abundance, like many opportunities, like, so you can use whatever you want, like, so equities, options, futures, like, so all the opportunities are here.
Yeah, it's all there. It's all there. It creates its own problems, but it's there. It's good stuff. Let's see now. Look at this one. This is the MES 30-minute chart. You have this high a couple days ago. You had the breakout, then it bounced off that area, and then it bounced off a little higher as well yesterday before the New York Open. It was like 2:30 a.m. So, I mean, this is a very simple entry. The chart would look something like this. If you see that resistance, the breakout, and it comes down, then your first thing you see is this 30-minute candle closed bullish, and it bounced pretty much in the area there. If you look further back, that was also previous resistance where it broke through and it bounced off right about in this area. So right about here, you might get interested for an entry. And you have a target up there and maybe even overhead. And sure enough, look at that thing go, And all of this happened and hit a top around here at around 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. Eastern. This is pretty good stuff. And then when the New York Open happened at 9:30, look at that volatility, right? So, a way to trade, and it's not difficult because this is slow stuff. This is, if you're awake, you're in Asia time zone or something in in Dubai, this is what, 10 a.m. or something, so a very comfortable time zone. And that's it. You're pretty much done. This is a huge move to catch. Even half of this, quite a lot. Let's see what happened then. And well, it came back down. It seems to have bounced off in this area. In New York, you would call this a reversal at what, about 11 a.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, I think, as well. You know, if it gets volatile, it always overshoots levels. And then you can see from the New York Open, the New York session, it just looks like a choppy day because it went down, it went up, just about broke the high of day and came right back. What a mess. And but this mess is trading in the US. This is what it is. You get lots of volatility. But you know, there's ways to catch big, simple moves when the US is closed. That's what I'm looking at. I think there's lots of moves.
Yeah. It's slow and interesting, like after that.
Yeah. It is. See, the Q's very similar. Look at the Russell here, Russell 2000. So you had the high of a couple days ago. And this is interesting. When it broke the high, it happened at what, about 3:30 in the morning Eastern. Breakout is happening here. The retest area is about here. Once you get your first really bullish candle, which is this little one, then you'd be interested for the long, which is here just before the open, which I think is tricky. Well, this one happened at the New York Open, basically. But, you know, the volatility, you struggle to put on real big size because it could easily shoot down quickly. In this case, it didn't work. This would have been a trend for the first half of the New York session. Look at oil. What's with oil? Let's see. Oil is really, I mean, recently you can see this. Lots of decent moves, but very tricky to catch. I don't think I see any kind of really great setups. Maybe there was something down here. It's there, but tricky one.
It's very messy, like looks like so much of the congestion in that oil.
Yeah, it's messy. You know, what's interesting is if you look at the recent activity the last few days, it's just up and down, right? And where is it right now? It's pretty much in the middle of the great big mess. So I think it'll be difficult to trade while it's in here. It might be here for a few days, a few more days, and then wait for the breakout. But again, breakout to the downside or the upside, it may happen overnight in the US, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. But that's perfect if you're in Asia or Europe or something, especially in Asia. Then you can watch it, you can catch it. So very interesting. I have a top here and a drop, but anyways, a tricky one to catch. This one's the most interesting recently. Gold. You guys remember what these levels are? Anyone? No? Yes? No? Everyone lost?
These are measured moves.
So what?
These are the measured moves.
Measured, yes. Measured moves. That's right. Quite simple, isn't it? This move happened. So after the fact, you can measure it. Bottom and the top. And it's just the same distance. All these lines are the same distance. When it broke out from here, you look at a 1-minute chart. This is a 30-minute chart. But once it gets to the level, you look at a 1-minute, you get an ABCD pattern, a breakout. From here to the next one. And here, even on the 30-minute, you're getting an ABCD pattern right there. Consolidation leading to a breakout, a retest. You can see that on a 1-minute as well to the next level. Here, an ascending wedge leading to a breakout. It goes halfway to the next level. Back down. I think this is very tricky to take a short, but it went from one level to the next. Then here, I think it's very tricky to take a long. I don't really see a decent setup. It went from one level to the next, and then this breakout happened. And we were looking at this during the live session yesterday. And there was a really good setup here to catch this breakout. And sure enough, straight to the next level, a little consolidation now, but it's basically halfway to the next one up. If we draw it, it's basically halfway. So measured moves, they're very, very simple. Once you identify where to measure it from, it's really simple. There's not much to it. I think it's easy enough. It's probably the easiest way to trade. And also, once you identify the measure, it can just sit there for quite a long time. You don't really need to adjust it. So in the last few days, 3-4 days, this has been simple to trade, because these levels tell you where to look at the chart. Only when it gets to a level do you actually pay attention. And if you get a setup, then you can put it on and leave it for the next level. Or these levels are quite far apart, I think. So I'd put targets halfway. So you enter trades only at these levels, but you put targets halfway. So for example, if you get the long here, halfway to the next level, you put a target in place to take a partial, at least maybe take half your position off, maybe 80% off, and leave the rest for the next level. That would have been very important over here in this area. If you got the long here, take half of it off, and the rest is out of break even down here. Even yesterday, if you caught it, yesterday for me, get the long here, you take a lot of it off about here, maybe half the position, and the rest of it hit the target up there. Not very difficult to trade, I think. So, interesting stuff.
I think you talked about this earlier. I came a little bit late this morning, but I feel like, I don't know if you're just posting your winners. We talked about this maybe a couple Candlelight sessions before, where you just only post your winners just so you can have a better psychology. But I feel like you're right a lot, but they just don't go all the way to your targets. Is that something you're playing around with? It's like, do I need to go this far with my targets? Is that why you're kind of saying I'll do it halfway? Because I know you try to go for big winners, but I feel like you're right a lot, man. You have the right ideas and you have the right risk management, but I don't know. I feel like if you took your profits, you would be a billionaire by now. Just in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's something I'm definitely working on at the moment. It's I'm finding I'm getting into a lot of really good positions, as in the move seems to work very quickly after I enter. But they don't exactly go to the targets. Most of the positions I've entered recently are not going to the major targets I've had in mind. And so I'm taking a lot of break-even stop outs. So that's something I got to fix, I got to work on. Again, I'm using the same mindset I used previously when I was trading options. And so far, that's putting me in a situation where I'm getting a lot of break-even stop outs. So I got to recalibrate that. And yeah, that's something I'm working on. Perhaps take partial profits halfway to the big targets, and some of them will run all the way, and that becomes a big trade. So yeah, no, you're right about that. I was discussing this yesterday as well, I think, in the live session. So it's one of the reasons I'm still in the sim, because I'm not satisfied with just taking a lot of break-even trades. No point going live like that, right? That kind of result. So something to work on. So, but in this particular case, with these measured moves, the reason I see a good reason to take profits halfway to the target, because the targets are huge. The levels are so far apart. It's not really common that it will go all the way. And so simply pay yourself halfway and then pay yourself all the way when it gets there. So one way to solve this issue is take a large partial, at an intermediate target, and then if it wants to continue, add back in. So that's a matter of recycling your position. That's something I've done plenty over the years. I might bring that back for this futures trading that I'm doing right now. That way, you make money, you take your profits, so you end up with making money. And only if it wants to continue, if you get that continuation set up, you can add back in without adding risk, because you're always keeping a stop in a break-even zone. So you add back in so that your stop is still at break-even, at the new break-even, and you don't have any risk on the table. And you do catch the rest of the move. So, I might just start doing that more and more nowadays. Let's see if that helps. If that generates better results, then I'll go live with it. No big deal.
I thought you went live.
I did. I took a few live trades, small sizes, just risked a few $100, a few $1,000s at a time, not massive trades, and they've been okay. But what I really want to do is go live with the genuine large size. To do that, I need to ensure some solid results, at least even in the simulator, before I really put on bigger sizes. And then, as you said, it's a billionaire in the making, because these are highly leveraged products, and the moves are enormous. And there is the beauty that there is no time decay like with 0DTE options. So you can actually really hold this thing for real targets, big targets. For example, here on this gold chart, if you identify this little consolidation leading to a breakout, I mean, this thing, you catch the breakout, and if you leave it for that target up there, I mean, this is, for the sizes I like to put on, this is probably close to $1 million right here in one trade. It's pretty good. It's pretty big. So taking partials is something I don't want to do. That's exactly what I've been experimenting with futures, not taking partials, just leaving it. But like I said, it's leading to a lot of break-even stop-outs more than it is leading to profits at the moment. So these are the few little things I'm working on. You can see here, for example, if you're in an options trade during the New York session with this kind of price action, you get long here. By the time it consolidates in this area with the 0DTE options, with these 30-minute candles, the options contract would be down here, and you'd have to stop out. So you get into it, it moves in your favor. Once the price action momentum slows down, you got to take 90% of the position off and take the break-even stop. And then later it'll go, but you're not there. So that's the tricky part with options, and that's the trading you saw me do last year. But I'm trying to move away from all that partialing business these days. Let's see. Maybe there's different ways to get into these kinds of positions. So again, I think the potential here is enormous. Just got to find the right way to unlock all that potential. There's plenty of money to be made, guys. Plenty. And there's no rush, really. Take your time, figure it out. Once you get it right, once you get a good flow going, then you're just a matter of being in the zone, showing up, and putting on the position when the market's there. And it's really amazing. You don't have to think too much about it. Just put it on and leave it. So, anyways, it's a lot of fun, huh? Why didn't you guys tell me about futures earlier, man? Like 3 years ago. Only now figuring out futures. Anyways, look at this. The silver move. It started here about 2 hours ago. Would have been about 4 a.m. for me. Pretty wild, huh? This was the high. Breakout, retest, consolidation, ABCD. I mean, all of it's just happened here just 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. And it's a huge position. A huge move. And what session is this now? Asia? Well,
yeah, Asia started 30 minutes ago.
There you go. But this move happened 2 hours ago, so this is before the Asia session. I don't even know what session this is. By Asia, you mean Japan, is it? Well, Japan's asleep. Oh yeah, no, it's Japan.
No, yeah, it's Japan.
Japan, right? What time is it in Japan right now? Probably around.
I think 9:54. It's 12 hours from Eastern time, I think.
Okay. So they're in the mood over there with all their sushi and everything, making this thing
Just
go.
kidding. I was completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's 11:54 a.m.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. So look at that.
Yeah,
they're in a good
they're
mood
eating their
today.
sushi right now.
Yeah. Breakfast sushi. I love it. I mean, look at this thing. This is enormous. And this now is silver. is the most leveraged futures contract I've come across. It's outrageous. Each point is worth $1,000 on one single contract. So let's say getting in here at 97, let's say you target 98, one contract is $1,000. And this is the kind of thing where it doesn't cost much at all to get one contract. You can put on 100 contracts. I mean, this is massive. Again, the leverage. Again, you got to use leverage the right way. Make sure you have a stop in place. Otherwise, it'll just destroy everything. But again, a very simple price action. You have the high over here, which happened, was at about 2 p.m. Eastern. The breakout, the retest, just as the Japanese were having their breakfast. And very simple price action. So again, there's so much potential here. It's the kind of thing where, you can put an alert right in this area. As soon as the price gets there, you get alerted, you turn on your charts, you sit here and you watch it for maybe 30 minutes or find an entry. You might take one stop out and the second one goes, something like that. And, you don't have to wait for New York to be opened. You can trade in whatever time zone that's comfortable for you. In Eastern, what time is it there when this happened? This would have been, let's say, 7 p.m. or so. 6 p.m. Not very difficult, right? So you can keep your job and still trade. Look at this high over here. You have an alert set up there. It got there. It went some distance. Here's your retest area. Bounce off. On a 1 minute chart, you'll find that this thing came down. You might have a double bottom in this area on a 1 minute, and you go. Let's look at the 1 minute, actually. This will be interesting. 95.75. Right there. There's your double bottom, it looks like. Let's have a quick look, zoom out. There it is. 95.75. So 95.75 is right there. So what it got here, that's when your alert goes off. Then you're waiting to catch the breakout. This is a 1 minute chart. I don't see a genuine setup here. It's just lower highs and lower lows. So you would struggle to enter along anywhere here. But then the breakout does happen. You may catch a retest in this area. Might take a break-even stop. Another retest in this area. Retest will breakout where it goes. You might take a partial and a break-even stop. But from up here to down here, it moved. You're getting a decent double bottom. Not ideal, but it's there. Right, and then you go. Now the market shuts over here for 1 hour. That's 5 p.m. Eastern. Then it opens again at 6 p.m. Eastern. So you can sit out for an hour. Come back at 6 p.m. Eastern, see if the price is still in the same area. You can just put the position back on. And you're in this. On the other side of it, you have the high over here. And then you have the breakout. This breakout looks much more genuine. Simpler to catch than previously. If you don't catch it, no big deal. Comes back, you get the retest right in this area. Like I said, about 2 hours ago. And you're in this move. So plenty of opportunity. Keep your day job and trade, any time zone, whatever time is convenient for you. Let the alerts tell you when the price is in the right place. So, yeah, lots of good ways to do this. Might be able to put measured moves on this one as well and target it up here. But I think measured moves on this action is a little tricky. I'm not sure I would be able to do it. But again, you see price action. I'm looking at the same stuff. Consolidation or a trend. There's only two things that happen, right? Either it's going sideways or it's going directional. There's nothing else. And it only goes directional after it's been going sideways. Just flip-flops. So you're looking for nothing more than a breakout from a consolidation. And breakouts are tricky to catch, so wait for the retest. And when you get a good one, like you got over here, or even up here on silver, no big deal. You can get right into these kinds of moves. Fun, huh? So, what else is on your minds as the sun comes up here in Dubai? Pretty nice outside. And the coffee gets cold so fast. It's not nice.
We're getting a mega storm this Sunday and Monday, I think. on the East Coast.
Oh
30
no.
centimeters of snow. Lovely weather.
Oh gosh, I remember living out there in in North America, going through those snowstorms. Ah, good luck, man. Ugh.
Thanks.
Wow, if you have an opportunity to get out of there, take it. It's
Yep,
not,
working on it.
yeah.
Why do you think I'm here?
I'm sure you're there because you have to be for whatever reason
Yep.
until you can work it out. Yeah.
It's not the snow that really bothers me. It's the minus 35 with the wind chill on Saturday. Like
Yeah.
these
Jeez, where do you
temperatures
live, dude? You live in Canada?
Montreal.
My God.
Yep.
Yeah. That's not fun, man. Oh well. Yeah,
We
but
get
I
like
like,
below, 32 over here in North Carolina. I'm like, I used to live in New York, so I'm used to the cold, but yeah, minus 32. I
Yeah.
don't even know if I could live there.
Yep. No, I don't want to live here.
it's very difficult to breathe the air when it's that cold.
Yeah.
Oh
Where
yeah, we pretty much hibernate. You don't go outside.
Yeah.
where are you originally from?
I'm from Central Asia. I'm from Tajikistan. I'm
Okay.
from one of the stands, Soviet Union, Mother Russia.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't they have like a mega storm too? Somewhere in Russia, northern Russia?
In Russia, yes, but
Yeah.
I'm more from the south of Russia, so it's towards Afghanistan, those parts.
Okay.
So it's not. It doesn't get that cold. It gets cold, but not that cold.
Yeah, I'm from Egypt, so it doesn't get cold at all.
Oh, Egypt, Egypt, it's lovely.
Yeah. It's the opposite problem. It gets so hot you can't even breathe outside.
Yeah. Actually, it gets to plus 45 in Central Asia also in July. I can't stand that one either. It's too much. But at least you can just stay inside and under the air conditioner.
Yeah. I'm sure, Avi, you have that problem in Dubai. My sister lives there. She tells me sometimes in the summer it's
Yes, it's no
unbearable.
fun. It's no fun in Dubai. Summer is miserable. You can't breathe outside. It's 40 to 50 degrees Celsius outside every day, and it's 70 or 80% humidity. So you can't survive. You just got to get out of town for a few months.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's
Go
the
to
plan.
go to Montreal in the summer and
Actually, it's getting pretty hot in the summer here too. Like last summer, like I barely turned off my AC all summer. It was so hot. Yeah, it got to like plus 40 at some point with the humidity. It's miserable. Yeah.
Mhm. So where do we go? Sounds like everywhere sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe Mediterranean,
Yeah, go to the Maldives or something.
maybe
You get stuck in
Portugal.
monsoon storms and
Yeah,
in the summer you don't want to be there. The
and
winter's
then you go back to the drawing board. Now where do we go?
Well, my plan is to be in North America this summer, and we were talking about this a few days ago in one of our sessions. And yeah, North America. So San Francisco mostly. I'll be based there. I got family there. But while I'm there this summer, we can plan a few meetups in North America. We were talking about Florida, Colorado, Tennessee, California. I'll be there through July and August, looks like. So,
Yeah.
we can put a few things together and make it easy to meet up at least a few times during those 2 months. And
You watch
of course,
soccer?
not really, but I can watch soccer if I need to.
Yeah, I was gonna say the World Cup is this summer, so
That's
Oh, okay.
true.
That would be fun. We can go for a game.
Yeah.
Go.
on your dime.
What is it, like $10,000 a ticket?
Yeah, I'll be just take one trade. It'll pay for everybody.
Take one trade. Yeah. Gosh, I haven't taken one of those kinds of trades in a while. A live trade. A real big one. We're here to talk about trading. Look at this oil chart. And this is through December going into January. You can identify a pretty obvious level of resistance. It hit here once, then here, then here. You can basically put a line there and put an alert there when it gets there. In this case, on the 8th of January, you may have taken a position to breakout and just leave it there. And then the next day on the, looks like the 11th of January, again, it goes in and bounces off of this area and just starts a big move from what was massive resistance. And here's the fun part. So you have this as your primary major level, breakout, retest. And then this is the top of that breakout area. You can put a minor level there leading from what was previous resistance, the breakout level or the breakout momentum move. Put a level there. And when it breaks that momentum area, then you're getting into this. So this would have happened on the 13th of January. So a setup that really started setting up here in the first half of December, and the trade really happened on around the middle of January.
Yeah, so how would you take that? Well, I mean, if you want to like zoom in a little bit so you can see the candles.
Yeah, we can zoom in here. But the whole point is, firstly, make sure you identify a major level, put a line there, and put the alert on. So when the alert goes off, it would be here. So now let's zoom in into this area. It would be right about here. So when the price comes up here on the 9th of January, we'd look at it. So let's look at the 1 minute chart going back to the 9th of January. It would be just a little further back, I think.
Are you still using the 1 minute chart for entries?
I am now. A few weeks ago, I wasn't. I was trying to explore not using it, but I figured there's a lot of power in using this chart, and I like to use it. So, yep, I'm using it at the moment.
Why not use like a 5 minute? So you don't have to get so granular, especially in the overnight sessions. The 1 minute chart, the 1 minute candles are pretty ugly.
It is ugly here. The funny thing about the 5 minute is it doesn't get along with me. It just doesn't. I've used it in the past and it's been okay, but I'm never satisfied with the kinds of entries I get. I always find when I do get an entry on a 5, it could have been such a better entry on a 1 minute. It's very simple, really. But nothing wrong with a 5 minute. It just doesn't seem to work for the way I perceive price action. So I've played with it. I just can't seem to get it to work for me. So anyways, I have no real problem with the 1 minute. As long as you're working with a significant big picture level, the 1 minute is fine. Even when it looks like this, all great big mess. It seems to be okay for me. I guess all that options trading, that helped me figure this out. But here we are on the 11th of January. We were looking at here, the 9th of January. So let's go to the 9th of January. Oh, that's the 11th. Here's the 9th of January. So this is the resistance I believe we put on the chart, on the 30-minute chart. Was it somewhere up here?
58.40.
58.40. Okay, thank you. 58.40. There it is, right there. So on this 1 minute chart, let's try and do it as if it's live. So the price is coming up. Here's your level, 58.40. Price it gets there. you can see it's accelerating up to 58.40. You don't enter when it does this. You enter when it looks like this. It's consolidating and just about to break out. Somewhere in this area would make sense, but of course there's no entry here. You're waiting for 58.40 in this zone, and it goes right through it, accelerating even more. This is not a place you touch it. You'd wait for it to come back and retest 58.40. Still keeps going. Here's where it starts to pull back. So when you're talking about retest, you're not exactly waiting 58.40, but in the area, because levels are areas, especially on a 1 minute. So let's see. Here's where it's gone. It's consolidated. Well, consolidating on a pullback. I'm waiting for a continuation setup, which ideally here should be a long tail hammer. Let's see if it gives us any of that. Further lower. That's a good sign. Consolidating lower. That's interesting. So it pushed up without the 1 minute pattern that I typically like to see. Let's zoom in a bit more. So this is not an entry that I like. Another entry would be up here. If it doesn't give you that long tail hammer, I'd wait for it to perhaps get up to the previous high, and let's see what it sets up as. Gets up there, still no entry. There you go. Now this candle broke out, or at least printed a new high, and closed pretty much right at that new high. This is an area I'd be looking at it. And still I'd suggest no entry. There you go. Now this one got my attention. This is the hammer. I'm thinking it came back in and printed higher than the previous high over there. After this closes, I might be interested in putting a long above it. So if it prints a new high up in this area, around 58.90 or so, the entry would be there. The stop a little down here, somewhere in this area, because you're looking for a big picture move anyway. There you go. That would be an entry. And yeah, there it goes. And you take the stop. Or yeah, the stop was, where did I say, about here. Still wouldn't have taken a stop. If you tightened it up, you'd be close to stopping out. And that would definitely be the stop out right there. Now you get into a position, you can, if you like partialing, you would have taken a partial and taken a break even. The way I do it, I probably would have taken a half-hour stop, because I would have probably put the stop here, tighten it up a little bit, stop out at half an hour. And now let's see if it bounces off. Again, you're in the area where breakout, you have a resistance, you have a breakout, you're looking for a retest perhaps. So as it came in, bullish candle, let's still wait because you want it to really be above here. Maybe one more candle. Still wait. That's interesting, not bullish yet. That's interesting. This candle is more bullish. And again, you're getting these higher lows. I might take an entry here again, 58.90 up in this area with the stop below the previous support, the previous buyers, if it gets up there. But it's not going there, no entry. You're still getting higher lows, but no entry. There it is. This time I may have entered during this candle, perhaps, with a stop below. And yeah. It's struggling at this overhead resistance. But you got the entry, the stop's down there, probably tighten it up to maybe just a little bit. It was down here to begin with, maybe just below this entry candle. So I'd have tightened it up a little bit. And there you go, broke the new high. And once it broke that new high, then I'd be willing to bring the stop in tighter, perhaps below this buyer. Maybe even bring below this buyer. At this point, it's at break even, so you're totally risk-free. And let's see what happens. And then it's on its way. So you can, that's how I target these entries. And that would have been the stop out there. So you get a decent little move out of it, plan your targets, and take a partial trade, and you get the break even. Break even would have been here, right down in this area. So you can see this whole thing takes a few hours. But that's kind of how I planned this kind of trade. And let's see, no, it doesn't want to go. Again, it all started with that big picture level, which is down here, 58.40, which on a 30-minute chart, we got it from here. What was it? Yeah, just about there. The big resistance level. Where was it? Here, somewhere right there. I lost it. Where is it? Is this it? No, we were talking here, 58.60. Anyways, in this area. And then, oh yeah, we got that overhead resistance. So you had this resistance, and we just showed you on the 1-minute chart a way to enter, maybe take partial trades, and it wouldn't have worked. but then it identified this more recent resistance. We're looking at 59, 55 or so. That's about here. So you can see that's that big high. So after you would have attempted this position, which would have been okay, then just wait for it to get up here on a 1 minute, 59, 55, which looks like it got there on the next day. There we go. And there's no entry signal here at all. Look at this 1 minute chart. It just goes up, indecision goes down. So not worth looking at. Just leave your alert in place to get up there and just letting it run. This is the 11th of January now, a couple of days later. 1 minute chart. Let's zoom out a bit. And where are we going? Here we go. What did we say the level was? 59.50. So there we go. Now we're getting up there. And now we are here. What is this? The 12th of January. You can see as it gets up to 59.50 on a 1 minute, it goes strong. Consolidation, breakout. Again, simple ABCD pattern. Not exactly the kind of pattern I like to take. But we're in this area. Let's see if it comes down, bounces off. Not yet. No, it rejected that, so no entry. And you're still waiting on it. Now here it starts to move. This looks like news would have made it move. Again, no entry with something like this. Trump would have said something like that, make it move. Okay, no entry. This looks like what, another day, still the 12th. So you can see it's chopping around what was that previous high, right? 59.50. And this is an area of previous resistance. Going back to the 30-minute, it's right about here. And you can see what we're looking at on the 1 minute is all this mess. So if you're identifying chop, this is the resistance you identified earlier for the breakout. But it gets there, it gets choppy, and don't play with the chop. Just identify the more smaller picture resistance, which is a little overhead. Again, now you're looking at 59.80-ish, you see. So first you have the major resistance. Try and catch that. You would have gotten something out of it. Then you have this resistance here. If you're not getting it set up, don't take it. Wait for the next one. You identify new resistance up here. When it gets there, wait for your setup. You don't get it. Then you identify the tiny picture resistance. This would have been basically a break of high of day on the 13th of January. And off you go. And that's how I basically use the 1 minute chart. So in this case now, you're looking at this. There's sellers up here, 59.77. And didn't want to go again. No setup for the breakout. Actually resisted perfectly. So 59.77, just waiting for that. You can see how sometimes you just got to wait for days until it gets to where you want it. In this case now, it got there, but again, I don't see a setup the way I like to trade these things. And you can see the 1 minute action is a big mess. The market's closed, or the New York session's closed. And again, when I see it like this, it's very rare that I'll touch it. You can see the candles are just, there's no liquidity. There's no interest. There's no movement. You don't need a volume indicator to tell you that. This just does not want to go. That's all there is. So no real trade. Here we go. We're getting something here. Oh, this is interesting. Breakout from that level. Comes down, retest. Now we can look at it. Let's see. So here's that level. Right, you're getting the breakout, comes down to retest. This first bullish candle, this is where I'd say the retest is complete because it bounced off the previous resistance. Fully bullish candle, the new high would be a potential entry. Let's stop below it. And there you go. Now you're in the move. And you're getting a good little move out of that. A pretty aggressive, fast move. And when you're getting a fast move, if you're actually watching it, just remember to take partials because when the price starts moving fast in one direction, it can pull back also really fast. So if I'm actually watching it without doing that whole thing of leaving orders in place and leaving it alone, this is something I would have taken a lot of the position off by the time it's up in this area. So we got that. Now it's come back down. Now on this situation here, it's the 1 minute chart has come down. So it's a downtrend basically. So you're not thinking of this as a retest of that previous breakout. Now you're thinking this thing's come down and you're looking for a reversal pattern, so a double bottom or something, which I don't see over here at the moment. And I don't see any setup. It just kind of grinds its way up. But yeah, that's kind of how I would look at this chart. So you can see there's a few trade opportunities based on what was a major resistance area that set up for, looks like a whole month to set up. And then it got here, and you can see how you can interact with this whole thing. And the same thing moving up, then you're getting little tiny, call it pockets of resistance. Here, a little one here, a little one here. This will be a tough one. Then it gets really scary up here. And then sure enough, it's a firm downtrend after that. Then you're not thinking long anymore. Then you're thinking reversal, maybe, down here. But again, this is oil. And you can see how tricky the price action is here with oil. So it's not the simplest instrument to trade, but I think the moves are there. Look at that big one there. Moves are there. So to try and catch even like something like this is a huge move. This obviously looks like news came out at about 9:45 in the US time, and the Eastern time. I don't know how you would catch this. I don't have a setup to go into this. You have that resistance. It just goes through it. So over here, maybe here's the breakout. Here's a retest. Come into this area. Identify your bullish candle somewhere in this zone, I'd say. Maybe try and catch it. But it's not clean. No, it's not ideal. So there you go. A little tricky, but it's there. Now I found this oil and the Dow Jones. What was the other one I was looking at? I was looking at Bitcoin futures. I found them really tricky price action, very complicated to catch. Compared to the MNQ, which itself is a little tricky, but much, much easier. And the SPY as well, MES. So again, you don't have to hurt yourself by trading these things. For now, I'm just exploring it. Because the moves are there, and the leverage is there, the liquidity is there, everything's there. It's ways to do it. Don't go live trading this stuff until you know how to do it. That's what I'm doing right now. Anyways, that's that. What else is on your mind, guys? What do you want to discuss?
Which software do you use for signals?
Software?
Is there software or like
Yeah, for
platform?
alerts.
Oh yeah, for alerts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't actually used alerts yet. I should probably start using that. But I got NinjaTrader right here. I'm sure there's a way to put alerts on this thing. Yeah, just right click on it, and yeah, there you go. There you go. Alerts. Right click on it, and it pops up. You can put on alerts.
The alert that you're putting, is it something like if the price goes to a certain price? I mean, sorry, if the future goes to a certain price, or is it for some specific strategy?
Yeah, the alerts I would use are just levels, horizontal lines. So if the price action gets to a certain level, then it should alert me.
Okay.
I think that's how I'll start using these things. Because I'm only interested at levels. As far as strategy is concerned, I mean, I just look at the candlesticks and see if there's a setup. I don't trust any software to tell me that here's a pattern. That doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
I know what pattern I want to trade. So, just like this, just look at the chart and you know it. You know what a breakout looks like. You know what a retest looks like. You know what a reversal looks like. And that's it. That's how I would do it.
Sure.
Yes, Sahil, go ahead.
Hey, Avi, I want to share a trade.
Yes.
Yes, I'll share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Yep, I see it.
Can you see my screen?
Yep,
All right.
we got it.
So I was looking at 30-minute chart for Tesla, and I had an alert on this. over here. So this was a resistance, and it's my key level for 30-minute, and it broke out, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And this was interesting over here. It broke out and retested. I could not enter here, and and as soon as I enter, news came in, and it shoots off. Look at this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't know my how to identify the target for this one. Like, this was just an unusual thing that news came in and it went up.
Mhm.
But if you look at the 30-minute only, if we remove this, so what do you think the ideal target would be? Is it these highs, or this small consolidation could be the target, or would you consider this area a target?
Yeah, that second area that you mentioned further up. You see, what I'm looking at is these bearish wicks. You got a lot of wicks up there. It's telling you that the sellers are sitting up there. Every time the price got there previously, right where your mouse is right now, there's a lot of sellers right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely identify that as a resistance, as a potential resistance area. So that's a target. Just put an order up there, and then another one further up. We have that other big wick sitting there.
Yeah, this one.
Yep, that's it. So those two would be pretty good areas to target.
You won't consider this one, right?
No, that's, you see, that's quite minor.
I see two wicks over here. It's kind of a level.
Those are bullish wicks. Those are buyers.
Okay.
So if it gets up to there, ideally those buyers are still there and they will continue the price moving up, especially if there's momentum in the price at the moment, which in this case with the news there was momentum.
Yeah. Look at
So yeah. And then that's the whole thing about these fractal patterns is you're not just identifying levels, but you're identifying levels of support and levels of resistance. So when you put on a level, what was the most recent thing that happened over there? Was that a level where it sold off from, or a level that it bought from? Then you know what to do with that level. You can use it as a target if it's resistance. It's a target if you're in a long position. And in this case, you are in a long position because the real-time price action is telling you there's momentum going up. It's all bullish. It just did a breakout. It's got news in it. It's whatever. All real-time action is bullish. So as long as it's bullish, that's good. Then you just want to identify where were the most recent major sellers that overpowered the market and pushed it down. So just looking to the left, you can see these big bearish wicks on what's like the previous day or previous few days. That's where you want to target. Yeah. So I think your crypto looks like it was in the right place. That's about where I would do it.
Yeah. So I was targeting this one, and as soon as I put my target in, it shoots up.
Yeah.
And I could not re-enter. It was all bullish. But
it was too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing about targets also. You got to understand there's no guarantees in the market. Even though it moves, it gets to a target, doesn't mean it won't continue moving, right? So even at a target, you don't take the whole thing off. You can take maybe 80% off. And then, in this case, what you've got is you're in a bullish position. You're getting into an area where you're targeting an area of resistance. All right, so you take 80% off when it gets there. Now, let's say it continues and goes. Okay, then you have whatever target you identify overhead. And that's all just bonus. But let's say it gets to that first resistance target of yours, and you take your partial, and then it gives you a massive reversal setup. Now you have an opportunity to potentially reverse your position. So completely shut down the long and perhaps take the reversal, the short. If you're identifying the reversal setup is there and the price momentum is now going down. Now reversals are very tricky, right? But those are the kinds of things that I like.
It happened yesterday. I took it. I shared it in the trade. So this is the one. So
Yeah.
long
I love it. Yes, I remember the screenshot. Yeah, you shared this. Good stuff, man. This is great. You're able to just read it in real time. And that's the best thing, I tell you. Real-time price action is the key, is the number one most important thing. I'll say, looking to the left is tremendously important. It tells you kind of where potential moves can begin and end. and where it can potentially get choppy. But in the end, real-time price action is king, is absolute king. That's what tells you where to enter, where to put your stop, and most likely whether it's going to move now or not. So learn to read that. In this case, you did. You read it, you got into it, and then you reversed it as well. So good stuff. Keep up that skill, the skill of reading real price action. I mean, there are traders out there who just read, who can just read the tape and tell you now it's going up, just by watching the price move on the tape. And it's real-time reading. It's not anything else. And I'm doing the same, but just with candlesticks instead of the tape. I think candlesticks are easier. But that's always the number one most powerful indicators of real-time price action. Right now, the price has been going up every minute for the last 10 minutes. So what do you think it's doing? It's going up. That's it. Wait for it to kind of slow down without reversing. Then you have an opportunity to enter with a tight stop, and off you go. That's called a consolidation, and it continues. So, yeah, real-time action. Nothing more powerful than that. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, good work on this.
Thank you. And I had one more trade I'll show you. I was experimenting.
All right.
It was just 1 hour. So I took it on 5 minutes today. From Microsoft. So I was looking at this chart, and it made a huge 5-minute wick over here.
Yeah.
So I did not have any levels on this chart. I was just looking at the previous resistance support and just targeted here, and it hit it.
Yeah. No, that's really good. If you look at it, when your target hit on the 1 minute chart, just on the 1 minute, you can look to the left and see.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly the same.
Yeah, it's right there. You see that big bullish candle previously on your 1 minute chart. Just look to the left a little. There you go. Right there. That's where the buyers stepped in and moved up seriously fast.
Yeah.
So the buyers are sitting there. So if you're in a short, that's your target. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
simple.
I'm just trying to figure out the targets much better now. So this was the thing I was struggling with. So this was just an experiment to figure out a target, and it was exactly right there.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, good work. You got a good grip on it at the moment, so keep up your momentum. That's really good. And what's really good also is now that you got a good grip on it and you get more confidence with it, the more you execute.
Yeah,
Then
I'm just all sizes like 20-30 shares and just figuring out.
Sizing is good, as in just don't have to worry about upgrading your size, but you can upgrade your time frame. Now that you're able to identify this on a 1 minute and a 30 minute, then you can even look at bigger things. Like look at this 30-minute picture right now that you've got up here. If you look at where you entered that short, that's a potential, that's a resistance area, but on a 30-minute chart, it's making higher lows getting up to it again.
Yeah.
Now that's a potential breakout setup in a big picture 30-minute trade, right? And then
targets here.
Yeah, there you go. Now that's a huge trade if you catch that one, right? You may have to stop out once or twice trying to catch it as it breaks out on the 30-minute chart, but you catch that one. Now instead of these 2 and 3 hour trades, you're getting more familiar with 5 hour trades, and things get bigger pretty quickly without having to put more risk on.
Yeah, even with the small risk, I'm making much more money.
Nice.
Not stopping out into bigger moves.
I like it. Good job, man. Good job. Keep this going. Keep the flow going. You're in a good headspace, it looks like.
Yeah.
Good, man. Hey, do us a webinar on this whenever you'd like, because this is really useful. I think a lot of people would benefit from this kind of example, or these kinds of examples. So whenever you're ready, give us a good little webinar on how you're doing things and how you see things. That'd be great.
Yeah. Thanks to all of you guys, especially you.
No problem, man. It's a pleasure. I enjoy coming here and talking candlesticks with you guys. It's amazing. Most people want to get up in the morning and look at sports or various things. I just want to look at candlesticks and talk about it. Isn't that something? Something wrong here. But no, I enjoy seeing. I enjoy being here and then seeing you guys do this, making progress and doing all the fun stuff. And we have so many good traders in here. I was talking about this earlier in our other session. There's a lot of guys in our group now who are regularly into 5-figure days, and now a few people in the 6-figure days. It's freaking amazing. The quality of trading in here is just getting better and better and better every day that I see a screenshot from you guys. It's always getting better. So keep it up. Just stick to it. Stick to it. Take your stops. Let your winners run. Stick to your methods. Don't get overexcited. And the market is a massive environment of abundance. There's so much money to be made. It's ridiculous. I mean, there's so much money to be made that I'm telling you, if I don't take a single real trade this year, it doesn't even matter. All I'm doing is working on myself and a better way to trade these instruments. So don't worry about it. The market's always going to be here. You just got to keep upgrading. That's all there is. And everyone who keeps their discipline will find abundance. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I told you guys many times, I think I've said this, where when I first started out in day trading, I figured if I make $20,000 a month, that's massive. I never need to make more money than that. Then it got to a point where I was doing that, basically averaging out about $1,000 a day. And next thing I knew, I was averaging about $5,000 a day. And then I realized, holy crap, there's so much more. Why am I limiting myself? There's so much more. I started looking at bigger time frames, moved away from the scalping stuff, and very quickly it became 6 figures a day. And that happened so fast, all within, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so. It was massive, And now I'm looking to upgrade from there by going into this futures market and doing things a little differently. But it doesn't mean you just step into the futures market and suddenly everything multiplies. You still got to work out how to interact with different markets, different instruments, different time frames. So, there is no limit. There really is no limit. And it's available to every single one of us. So, stick to it. Keep your discipline. You get overexcited with dopamine, trading the open, scalping, well, then I'd say you don't deserve the millions. But if you keep your head on your shoulders, it's available for everyone. So good stuff, man. Keep up the good trading, guys. Very important. It's plenty of money to be made. So much fun.
Avi,
Yep.
you want to take a look at that E-mini futures from yesterday? I think it was from yesterday.
Which one, the ES or the MNQ?
That's actually, it's MES.
MES, yeah. This is MES.
From Wednesday, actually, 21st. Yeah, yesterday.
21st, yeah. 21st, yeah. This is it.
You had a trade, right, at the open?
I think so. This looks like a trade I would take. Basically, it gets up to this pre-market high.
Avi, would you please share your screen?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the reminder. I always forget. All right, there you have it. So looking at this price action, you have this resistance zone. Let's see, then pre-market went down at the open.
Yeah.
Looks like this was the open and it was choppy, then shot up. And then here at this area, this could be a potential breakout zone.
Yeah, it shot up right before the open.
Was that right before the open? Okay.
Yeah, it was right before the open, and that's why I took the trade too, and I went in, and my target was I put it a bit below 6,900, and I think you put it closer to that traumatic level of 6,905, the one that we talked about the day before.
Yep, I remember this. Yeah, right there. That's a key turnaround level.
Yeah. So my question is, it went straight down after, and then it started bottoming around 12, I think.
Mhm.
Would
Yeah.
you take that trade?
Let's
At
see
12.
this reversal area here. This would be
Like that looks
on
really
this.
good to me.
Yeah, I would struggle to enter the long here on the 30-minute chart because it went. I mean, you have the obvious breakout of the resistance. It hit a firm overhead resistance, reversed. Actually, I think I took a short here. And then it came down so fast that it came down fast. Then it got choppy with higher lows and higher highs. But just because it came down so fast with so much momentum, so much selling, I would struggle to trust that it's going to do this. It's going to go up so fast. I wouldn't take this. Just looking at this chart right here, I think this is very complicated.
That move back up was the news. Trump said something about he's not gonna use force to get Greenland or something like that. I don't know, but that was news.
This guy in the news.
Yeah,
There you go. The pattern's broken. Now
the
we know
king market manipulator.
why. Oh yes, he's the best, isn't it? He dumps the market, tells his cousins to buy options, and then he
That's
releases.
exactly. And his son is in there buying $1 billion worth of on Ethereum. I don't know. This guy's crazy.
Oh, good for that. Well, he gets 4 years in office to make $1 billion, so let him do it. Whatever. It's normal. All politicians do that all over the world. It's not
Yeah.
just.
I should have became friends with him before.
Yep. Good place to be, huh?
So basically, those 30-minute candles, they would not give
No.
you an indication that
Nothing here.
He
There's
wants to
nothing. You
go
see this massive dump and then choppy. It's got these wicks. It's got higher lows and higher highs. But I know that there's overhead, massive sellers, man. And to think of it this way, for it to go down fast, for it to turn around after going down so fast, you need some serious aggression, some serious buyers to be able to step in and make it happen, which the only reason this happened was because of the news release. So I wouldn't do it. But on the other side of it, think of this. We know this is a key level and it's respected that a couple of times. When there's momentum going up and it gets up here, then maybe I'll look into the 1 minute chart in this area and see if it gives me a breakout and retest setup and catch that little bit. That's when I would look at it. But down here, I would really struggle to think of this as bullish. This is just no room to left. It's choppy. It's messy. It's not something I'm interested in.
You don't think that, like, do you put any weight on where the candle closes? Like, this candle was dropping down, but it was being brought back up and closing right there where that previous high was. So I mean, is there?
Yeah, no, it's not.
No, not there. But I guess it was the resistance level. Go back down.
Down here.
Yeah, not too far down. Just the pre-market. Yeah, right there. Like
Yeah,
it's
yes.
closing right there, so you can see that. I don't know. Do you put any weight?
Not so much. Not really. You know what's more important is wicks. I like to see wicks. Wicks tell you a lot. They tell you about firstly direction, and secondly how aggressive are the buyers or sellers in that direction. That's really important. And I think here's a really good example right here. Look at these wicks. You got wicks making lower highs at the same time wicks making lower lows. But these lower highs are what's really telling because it's happening at what we identified as firm, I wouldn't call this resistance, but a firm area where the sellers love to sell. With this candle, it just went straight down. We were talking about this the other day. After a neat consolidation, then a straight down candle. This is where the sellers took over on a 30-minute perspective. And when it got there, they just kept putting in lower highs. So they're here again, just a few hours later, 10 hours later, or whatever it is. They're still here, still in the same place and proving to you that they want to go down. That is very telling. And up in this area, you're not really seeing the wicks on this chart, but then you go into the 1 minute, you'll probably see it. Let's go and look at that. What is this, the 21st? Yeah, it's right here. I remember I took this trade. Yeah. So it's right in this area. Look at this. came up here. Look at this, lower highs. And let's zoom in a bit more. There you go. This is what it looks like. Lower highs. Firstly, you're getting these wicks. Then you're getting another little one here. You're getting a doji here. You're getting this. This is interesting. This bullish wick. And when you get the bullish wick here, what you're getting with it very soon after is that it keeps coming down straight. So firstly, it's telling you there's buyers here at a key area of resistance that has been resistance where the sellers like to sell, 69.05. Right in this area, there's firm buyers. But the buyers are not able to push up because you can see the price came right back and retested the same buyers. It did not go higher up. The buyers weren't able to buy higher, right? They weren't buying higher. The sellers were actually able to push them right back to the price they actually bought at. And then again, and then they pushed even lower. So now you can firmly say that the support that the buyers were providing here, they're unable to continue providing that support because the price is printing lower, right? That wick is very telling. That's where I'm getting my real clue that these lower highs may well be in play. After you can see the support and the support being retested, the support being broken, at least just printing lower and without even being a genuine momentum breakout, but just printing lower itself. It's telling you what's going on here. A lot of people call this an area of distribution. I just call it like the sellers are taking over. Then this wick was my first clue to start looking at this area. And I think I did take the short somewhere here with a stop above, or maybe it was here with a stop above, I don't know, and got into this. And sure enough, when it eventually decided to break this support area, off you go. So the wicks are very, very telling. And this is the key one right here. You had some clues coming in here with lower highs, but this one. So you see, I like to pay attention to wicks. So it's very telling. Then there's the, what do you call it? The footprint charts, I believe they're called, where inside the candle, there are numbers. Those numbers are telling you the transactions, buyers and sellers, basically like the tape. But I find that when I start reading that stuff, it gets too complicated. It's just easier to look at this and you get the same information. So more important than the candle's closing, I'm looking at where are these wicks telling me about buyers and sellers? And then are they being tested? Are they being overwhelmed? Or are they really able to push forward in their direction? Those are the things that, that's the puzzle you want to solve all the time, right? That's what makes sense. I forgot choppy. Yeah, go ahead, Nassim.
If somebody's starting out with futures, as I am, which ones would you suggest to start with?
Well, the ES and the MNQ, MES and MNQ, I think they're very simple. You're basically trading the Qs and the SPY. And that's the most common instrument, the most familiar, most similar to the regular equities. So it's it's what most of you guys are used to with Tesla, Nvidia, all that stuff. I'm basically suggesting them because the price action is, I think, easier to read compared to something like the Russell 2000, which is a little more tricky, I'd say. And then, of course, the energy market, you have oil and gold and silver. These are just wild. So very simple, MES, MNQ, and then go from there, go slowly.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, these are open. Well, the New York time zone is when it really gets volatile. We all know that. But it's open all the time, and you catch some really big moves or big trends begin overnight. So plenty of fun to be had, right? Cool. All right, guys. Anything else you'd like to discuss? We've been here for over an hour. Anything else on your minds? Questions, comments, concerns? Again, keep up the good trading, guys. I see a lot of you guys are putting in some really good, neat, solid trades. So just keep up your mindset. Stay in the zone. Manage the risk, and money's to be made. There's plenty of abundance out here. It's kind of funny, really. It's the kind of job where the less you do, the more money you make. So, just take it slow, let the price come to you, put on the risk, and then let it run away from you. That's all there is, really. And you'll be all right.
Are you do you still do like one-on-one sessions,
Yeah, just message me and well, get on a
or
call.
do you have a limit after you've been here for a year? You can't do anymore.
Well, if you piss me off, I have a limit. That's about it. That's my limit.
Cool.
No.
Yeah, I might shoot you a message just
Yeah.
to kind of pick your brain on some stuff.
Yeah, no problem at all, man. Anytime, man. And for everyone else as well, anytime you want to talk, just send me a message and we'll get on a phone call. No big deal. All good fun. No limits. We're here to grow together and make money and figure out the markets together. So, I don't believe in limits. We'll just keep going.
You're one of a kind, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's a pleasure to be here hanging out with you guys. I enjoy all this. I enjoy being here, spending time with you guys, and just doing this. So it's a pleasure for me to be here. Good stuff. Well, thanks again, guys. It's getting to be about 8 a.m. here. I think go take a run in the sunrise and sports day at my kids' school. So I'll go do some of that stuff and try and have some fun with this. So anyways, thanks a lot, guys. And I'll be talking to you all again very soon. See us.
Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
Savi. Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a good day.
Thanks, guys. You too. Have a good one.
Okay, thanks.